Well, hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019, and this is my summary of our business systems class. So one thing for you to know, which you probably do know, is that the way I plan for these classes is if there's a topic that I know that people are interested in, something I know people are working on or that people want to know or are committed to, then I'll build the class around that topic. And so what I'm going to say to you on the recording, which I told people on the live class and which I'll continue to repeat, is that at any time during the month, if you come up with an issue that you think would be good to discuss in class or you'd like to hear other people's feedback on, send me an email. I will find a way to work it into the class. So this is a way that you can customize your learning experience here by, just making sure that I know the issues that are relevant to you. But if there's ever a time when I have a call and I have no idea what people are dealing with, what their issues are, what a topic should be, then usually I'm going to start with a round robin check-in, and then I'm going to create a conversation from that. So what we did today is a round robin check-in, and I asked everyone to just give a little quick update on how they're doing in their business, and then ask if they had an issue. And we went and we did brain dumps on the issue. We went through our process. And so a lot of people didn't have issues, but we had a couple good issues. And one of the issues was regarding layoffs and how to handle them. And what I thought was very interesting is I always had assumed, when I don't think about it, that, when you're a company and you're getting to a point where you have got to cut your costs very quickly and you're to the point where you have to get rid of people or at least cut payroll costs, that there are more options than just laying people off. And so that's one thing I thought was very interesting. The person that brought the issue up had already thought about some solutions that were not just laying people off. For example, having people reduce their salary now in lieu of a bonus or an equity share at some point in the future. Also, we discussed other solutions related to layoffs and a couple other solutions that were thrown out was, for example, when you talk to the employees and you tell them what's going on and they know that there's a positive outlook for the company, that this is just kind of a dip or a blip, knowing that they would have a job to come back to, would some be willing to take a month or a 2-month leave? And I know people that would jump at that, a leave without pay for 2 months if they had the budget for it, if they had the ability to do that, then some people would love just having that time off. So that may not work for all situations, and I think in this particular case it wasn't a viable option for the person, but there were a lot of interesting suggestions. So that was one of the issues that we talked about. Another issue that we talked about was more systems-oriented, and it was about having software that doesn't do what you need it to do. So you have 2 or 3 different maybe software programs that you're using to manage numbers, to manage operations, to help you make decisions. And it turns out that in order to make your decisions properly, you have to go through many different steps, dumping information, exporting information from one software package into a spreadsheet, manipulating those numbers, and then, maybe uploading them into another software so that you can make other decisions. And it becomes really time intensive. And for people who run small companies and may not have a full-time controller to do that kind of work or a full-time spreadsheet person to do that kind of work, it can be really, really annoying. Also, you may not have that skill set and you may not necessarily know what other options are available to you, even though theoretically there should be other options. So we went around in the brain dump there, and quite a few ideas came up, including a couple software suggestions, which I thought was really useful. Then we talked about another interesting issue where I thought it was just wonderful to hear just how frustrating it can be when you are really motivated and excited about what your company's doing and driving forward with it, and you have an open Q&A session, and then people bring up comments that seem so self-serving and irrelevant and not related at all to the mission of the company, like when are we going to get longer lunch hours, or something like that, something related to personal comfort as opposed to the company's mission. So that was a very interesting discussion, and we talked about how sometimes you're just going to get people like that, and then it ranged from that to sometimes there are underlying issues. And a couple of the people on this call, remember this is our business systems call, so almost everybody on this call has either implemented the systems in the book Traction or are thinking about implementing it or have implemented some of those systems. And a couple people that did implement the systems talked about how going through that process actually dug issues out that were lurking deep within the company that was causing some of this behavior. So sometimes people's behavior seems really out of context and inane, but sometimes that behavior is a symptom of a deeper, more sinister issue that's lurking within the depths of the company and is not being addressed. And so that ended up turning into kind of an interesting dialogue as well. So on our call that only lasted 1 hour and we got off in time, we were able to delve into 3 issues, and that was even with people not all being able to get on the phone call at the same time. So I thought that was pretty impressive, and I'm looking forward to continuing to have these kinds of great conversations with you. You have to obviously be on the call to contribute to the discussion and to get benefit from the discussion if you need feedback from everyone. But I hope this kind of gave you a stimulating little overview of it and gave you some ideas. And as always, you can send me an email if any of the issues that you heard about are issues that you're also facing and you'd like me to connect you to the people that were dealing with them or had the solutions for them. All righty, so I'm going to turn off the recording now, and we'll talk to you next time.